I'm a grateful recovering addict. Um, and so pretty much what being an addict means to me is that I have like this addictive nature, and that nature is like the scent that calls forth the attention for someone or something, like God or higher power, for their attention in my life. um, like I drank and used with my parents, a lot of dysfunction going back, and I remember shortly after I graduated high school in 2008, like I got my own place and like I was just using and like everything always felt chaotic. I started going to jail almost immediately after graduating high school, and the miracle moment for me, or like the moment that like I decided to fight, was probably my fifth time in jail. And like my first couple of times going to jail, like it just sucked. You know what I mean? It's like the worst experience ever. Um, but there's one time uh, I stood on the toilet bowl seat. I looked out the little jail window. I stared at the moon, and I said, "God, please get me out of here. I'll do anything." And like that's the moment when I decided to fight, even though I didn't know it. So what I meant by saying, "God, please get me out of here. I'll do anything," I wanted to be able to do one thing in return to be able to go back to like what I wanted to do and the way I was living. I believe that seen in me, like by whatever powers that be universe, was three key main ingredients that brought me to where I am here today: honesty, open-mindedness, and willingness. So I think like God saw a different kind of willingness in me, and so like my willing to do anything is like how many times I came back after relapsing, how many times like I got honest about like my behaviors and like what I've been doing, and like my open-mindedness to like work the program and try to live a new way of life and like have new perspectives and like views on the world and like take other people's feedback into consideration about myself. So like again, I didn't know that like I was making that level of commitment. Um, I believe somewhere in that moment, a sacrifice was made for me to be this person that I am today, which is a grateful recovering addict, and like I truly am grateful to be that. Um, I think like in that moment, I kind of entered like the into a journey and into like a form that makes available to me my full potential and like connection in the greater community, relationships with others, and um, all that fun stuff. But like it was terribly hard. Like I relapsed over 26 times. Like I went back out a bunch of times. Like things got really miserable. Uh, the first time I came into recovery, I was pretty much running from my problems. Like I was using with my mom and like blaming all my problems on her. I wasn't taking any responsibility for myself. Um, so like I was running from my problems, and like the destination I found myself in was recovery. I was uncomfortable. I didn't make friends right away. Like I just felt like the outcast. And after like 56 days or something like that, like I was just too uncomfortable, and like I left and I went back out. But like I've heard a little bit, about like the program, how it works, spiritual principles, like all that fun stuff. So like it kind of messed with me. So like now I'm using it again, and I feel like I'm no longer like running from my problems, but like I'm being chased around. Like I'm paranoid, and like I know I shouldn't be, like conscious is making me feel, all this regret, guilt, shame, depression. Um, it's following me everywhere I go. So like I find myself on the way into recovery for the second time, and this time I feel like my problems are chasing me. So like I get into recovery, like things start to settle down. I feel a little more stable. I get comfortable. I stop hurting. I feel like I got this. So then I leave and I go back out, and like things are worse than ever before. Uh, I feel like my addiction didn't pick up where I left off. I feel like it picked up where it would be if I never stopped. So like there's trauma associated with my using, and it's just off the charts. So like I know where I'm supposed to be, right? Like I hear this calling, and like the destination of that calling is in recovery. So like I'm basically, you know, um, like in recovery because like where else would I be at this point? Now it's more of like what I do. So like I feel like this time I got clean and like I addressed some or most of the stuff in my past, like the wreckage, and it seems to be going forward. Like new ones are coming up, and like I can't run from those, and I can't let them chase me around. Like I have to deal with them, and like that's kind of difficult. Uh, but yeah, I mean that's basically how I got to where I am. I feel like the things that keep me moving and motivated are having a sense of purpose and direction, connection to the greater community, a relationship with a higher power, and interesting new things to learn about, which for me are like basically the spiritual principles they talk about in the program. They're very dynamic, and um, life seems to take on a pattern of lessons which I recognize as valuable and useful, and like the most valuable and useful things in my entire life. And if not for these valuable and useful lessons, like I would have stopped a long time ago. And the gratitude is what like ties everything together. Like I find when I look back, there are people in my life who are also work the program, like people who pay it forward or people who are in the position to be of service to others, and they have like dedicated time and effort into helping me change my life. So like I have a lot of love and gratitude for these people, and I know going forward, as long as I stay in that same path, like as those people were where they were supposed to be when they were supposed to be there, so that when I arrived, they could be of service to me. Like going forward, I'll continue to meet people who are where they're supposed to be when they're supposed to be there, waiting for me to arrive, and like that relationship and gratitude and that love will be exchanged yet with them, and I look forward to that. You know, and then I hit bumps in the road, I make mistakes, I do dumb things, like behaviors come out sideways, and that's where like the going gets tough. Like that's some of the stuff that like I want to not face and run, but it's the love and gratitude of the people that have compassion for those who are affected by this disease. And shout out to them, because without y'all we wouldn't have what we have. And thank you.